Yeah, command wasn't what it normally is. You could tell from like the very first pitch of the game, his sinker had a ton of bottom to it. It wasn't that he really got hit very much. He just kind of pitched himself into a hole. Then we put a shift on Bellinger. The ball went against the shift, and it was kind of crucial at that point in time. And left a pitch up to Kike. Outside of that, like just was command for him. Sinker had too much bottom. He just couldn't get it in the zone.
What are you seeing from Miguel Diaz recently? Is it just a young guy going through some pretty sharp growing pains?
Yeah, the secondary's not getting in the strike zone. So it's pretty much been eliminated by the opposition at this point in time. When the slider can't find the plate, he's left just throwing the fastball. The fastball does have velo at this point in time where he is. It doesn't have precise command, so sometimes ends up in the middle of the plate. Pitch that Bellinger hit out, up above his head practically. You tip your cap on that swing. It was an executed pitch, and it was a good swing. But, for him, I think he's been kind of snake bit from a luck perspective, too. I think he's had his last two outings prior to this one. He's had some really soft contact with two outs, have gone for hits. And as you might expect with a really young guy, not a long track record, when it snowballs on him, it's hard for him to slow it down right now. I think in due time he'll be able to do that. Right now, it's understandably fast for him.
What do you make of Hunter Renfroe's at bats today? Obviously not the result in the eighth, but just the quality of them overall.
The best at bats of the year, without question. Couldn't be more pleased with what he did today. He does that against a guy like Kershaw, who walked him twice and walked everybody else in the game 3 times all season long. That's really impressive. Those were good at bats, laying off pitches he hasn't laid off of. I have zero doubt long-term the power is going to be there. The hits are going to be there. If he does what he does today and stays inside the strike zone, there's going to be a lot of really good things out in front of him. Even the at-bat against Jansen, that's a good battle at-bat. It's a guy that lives in the top of the strike zone. He's laying off some of those pitches up there, and then he dots at the bottom of the strike zone for strike 3. It's a tough strike 3 with the bases loaded, but it's not a strike 3 that – well, it's a strike that you're going to see on a lot of really good hitters, too. And those are like the okay kinds of punch-outs. Those are the much better versions of them than the version of the one we had yesterday against Romo.
What types of things can you say to him to emphasize patience? Is there, because it's pretty self-explanatory generally, but what do you emphasize?
Yeah, I think the concept he gets, I think buried in his track record is the understanding that he's hit every pitch that's been thrown to him at some point in time. Slider, breaking ball, inside the zone, outside the zone, fastball. He's hit them all out of the ballpark at some point in time. So past history tells him that going through the minor leagues, you can be successful swinging at all kinds of pitches at all different kinds of time. The major leagues now is showing him, and he's learning, and the ability to learn the aptitude he showed today is going to be crucial for his future success. But the big leagues is now showing him that you've got to be able to shrink it and stay inside the strike zone, and he did that today. And to me, that's a huge step in the right direction for him, and speaks volumes about his future and about his ability to adapt.
Has Craig Stammen cleaned up some things with his delivery? Is that a kind of a result we saw tonight?
Yeah, I think his last couple of times out, he's been much crisper. I think we found some things. They've worked hard on it between the wind-up and the stretch. As you might remember in spring training, you might have forgotten, in spring training he was almost never in the stretch. He was pitching out the wind-up the whole time. He was kind of having dominant innings all the way through. Was mostly in the stretch when he got to the season and had some stuff that was a little bit off mechanically there. Seems to have been ironed out completely. Seems to be throwing the ball really well. And, the 3 innings of length he's given us the last 2 times has preserved from some arms down there. It's been very big for us.
Is there a chance you might see some more high-leverage situations based on how he's starting to throw the ball now?
Yeah, the way we're constructed right now, we need some guys with length. We don't have a lot of that. In due time, yes, it's possible, but obviously throwing 3 innings yesterday or today, he's going to be down tomorrow for sure. And I can see him evolving back into a role like that. I just think right now he needs to keep building like he has the last 2 times out.